right, so let's go ahead and create the functionality for our posts. So let's go back to our terminal. I'm going to open up a new tab and go cd to code and our blogging application, and I'm going to run the Rails server by doing Rails S. Then let's go back to the other tab. Let's open up a new tab and go to localhost 3000. All right, so we are writing Ruby on Rails. Awesome. So the first thing we want to do is create a model for our posts. So let's do Rails generate model, post model, and let's go back to GitHub and look at the modeling our data. So the formatting is a little funky here. Okay, so all we need to do for this is a title and the content. So let's go back to our terminal and we'll do title, which is going to be a string, and content, which is going to be text. And then if you want to look at the migration that created, just copy that file path and do cat and paste that in, and I'll print it out within the terminal. So what it's doing is it's creating a table of posts, t.string for the title attribute and t.text for the content. All right, so that looks good. Let's do a rake db migrate. So now that that is done, let's go ahead and do a Rails generate controller, and we're going to do a post controller. So let's go back to our terminal. Let's go to /posts. All right, so let's open up Sublime and open up the routes file. So the next thing we need to do is create some resources for our posts. So what I'm going to do is resources and posts. Now, if we go back to Chrome, we can go localhost /posts, and we get a unknown action. The action index could not be found for our post controller. That is because we have yet to define the index action. So what I want to do is open up the post controller and create that. Let's just do def index end. Now if I go back and refresh, get a template is missing file, or error, I'm sorry. And let's go ahead and create that. So under posts, let's create a new file. I'm sorry, under app views posts, let's create a file and name it index.html.erb. I'm just going to say h1, and let's do the very original hello world. If we go back and refresh, beautiful, that is working perfectly. All right, so the index is good to go. Let's create the CRUD ability. So what we want to do is go back to our post controller. Let's do a def new end and a def create end. We're going to start with the new action. So what we want to do is at posts, we're going to assign it to an instance variable, and we're going to do post.new. And this will allow us to create a new post inside of our form. And then under the create method, we're going to do at post equals post.new, except we're going to throw in the post params. So let's go ahead and define what those post params are in a private method, post params. So the post params are going to be params.require, and we're going to require the post, and we're going to permit those attributes. If you remember, if we go to db migrate, pull out that migration, so we have two attributes, the title and the content. So we're going to permit the title and the content. So let's save that. Actually, next under create, let's fill this in a bit more. So if the post is able to save, so if at post.save, let's redirect to the post page. So the post show, and we're going to say notice. I'm just going to write this specifically to me since I would be the only one creating posts on this application. I'm going to say, hells yeah, McKinsey. Your article was successfully saved. All right, and then else we will say render the new action, and I'm going to throw up a notice saying, oh no, Oh no. I was unable to save your post. All right, and then we will end that. Perfect. So if we go to posts/new, we get an error. Let's see. Syntax error on our post controller. We forgot to end the def post params. All right, now we get a template is missing, which is what we were looking for. So under the posts, let's create a new file. Call this new.html.erb. And I'm just going to say h1 new post. Perfect. So let's create the form. So I'm going to create a partial for the form. So I'm going to say form.html.erb. So what we are going to do here is we're going to do a form for @post do f. Then let's be sure to end this block before we forget. So the form for, we are creating a new post and it's getting that from the post controller @post. So we want to throw up any error messages. So if @post.errors.any ? Let's end that before we forget. Let's say h2, and we're going to do pluralize @post.errors.count. So we show the number of errors, and it's pluralizing the error. So if it's one error, it will say error. Otherwise, if it's plural, it will say errors. And then we'll say prevented this post from saving. And then we are going to loop through those errors. So we'll do @post.errors.fullMessages.each do, and for each one we're going to do a message. Then inside of here, let's do an li tag and just loop through each of the messages. All right, that's simple enough. And let's get out of that code block. Now for each one, let's do f.label, one for the title, and let's do another one, f.textfield, for the title as well. And I'm just going to copy this, and let's do it again down here. And this is going to be the content. And instead of a text field, this is going to be a text area. And let's create a different label other than content. And I'm just going to say, write your article here. Then let's add some BR tags. All of this is not over as far as it should be. There we go. And finally, let's do a submit button, f.submit. Now, if we go back, refresh, nothing happens because obviously I forgot to render in that partial. So we'll do render form and refresh. Perfect. So let's go ahead and try to create a new form. Let's make sure in our controller, we're doing post.new in the create @post post.new post param. So we are permitting the title and the content. Then if it's able to say, we're redirecting to the post, else we're re-rendering the new form or the new template. All right, so let's give it a try. So I'm just going to say test post, and let's go to hipsum.co again and grab some filler text. Paste that in, create post. All right, so if you look in the URL, localhost 3000 post/1, that's a good sign. We get an unknown action show. Let's go ahead and create that. So new file under posts, we'll do show.html.erb. So for now, let's just try to grab the post content. So @post.title. Let's see if that works, which it does not. And that is because in our controller, we get an undefined method title. So in our controller, we have yet to define first the show method and what the at post is. So we are gonna find, all we need to do for this is at post equals post.find by params of ID. But since we are going to be using this on multiple methods, let's copy that, go under, let's do def find post, paste that in and end it. Then up above everything, let's do it before action. Find post. And let's set it to only find the post for only the show. We're going to want it on the edit method, which we have yet to do, the update, and the destroy method. All right, so let's save that. If we refresh, perfect. So the test post, the title is showing up. Now if I did at post.content, refresh, perfect. All right, so let's quickly add the ability to edit a post and delete a post. So the next thing we want to do is edit. So let's create a new file. Actually, so let's go to the post controller. Under the def show, I'm gonna create a new method for def edit, and let's do another one for the update method. All right, so these two are gonna handle our ability to update the post with new text. So the edit, we are good. All we need to do for that is find the post, find the post. And since we are doing that from the before action, we are good to go. The update method is a little bit different. We need to find the post as well, but we're going to do if at post.update by the post params. Let's redirect that to at post. And I'm just going to show another notice. I'm going to say, huzzah! Your article was successfully saved. And if that is not the case, we'll say else, render the edit action, and then we'll end. All right, so if we try to edit this, let's say, well, first let's add a BR tag. All right, so if we add a link to the edit action, you can find the links by doing rake routes. So far, we have all the routes to take care of our posts. So we'd go to the edit post path. So I'm going to link to, say edit, and then we're going to go to edit post underscore path. And since we are on the show page, we need to throw in the at post. So if I was to do this and I refresh, the edit link shows up, but if I click it, the template is missing, but you can see the route is correct. We go to post/1/edit. So let's take care of that missing template. So we're gonna save, do edit.html.erb. And I'm just going to go to the new, copy this. We are going to use the new form, or the same form. So I'm just going to say edit post. Now if I go back, refresh, you can see the content is showing up, and that is because the post params. So let's test this out. I'll say add blah to the end and hit update. So you can see the title has been updated. It redirects us to post/1 and everything is good. Awesome. So next thing I want to do is the delete. So let's do def delete or def destroy. And so we need to, let's add this below the update method, def destroy. So we need to find the post for this as well, but we're doing that again with the before action. So we are good for that. All we need to do is at post.destroy. And then after it destroys it, let's redirect it to, let's go to the post path. So that would be the post index. So in the show, let's create a link to for the destroy button. Say delete, And this is a bit different. We're going to do the post path at post. So we're finding the post, and then we are throwing in a method delete, and then we're going to do data colon curly brackets, and we're going to confirm quotes, are you sure you want to delete this post? And what that does is it creates a pop-up box. So if I refresh, whoops, I forgot to close that out. If I hit delete, it brings up the browser's pop-up box. Are you sure you want to delete this? Let's test it out. Just say okay. All right, so it takes us back to /posts hello world, and we can confirm that it deleted by going into the Rails console and doing post.count, and we now have 0 posts. All right, so the CRUD ability for our posts is pretty much complete. One last thing I want to do before we finish is let's go ahead and commit our work. Let's do a git status. So we've done quite a bit, so I'm going to do a git add dot. Now if I do another git status, everything is green because it's ready to be committed. So let's do a git commit -am, and I'm going to say added article, added post credibility. All right, and let's do a git push. So in the next video, we are going to do a few things. We're going to create the welcome page or the home page, and also we're going to copy over the styling from our static code.